Hey friends, this is the video that I promised you earlier that I would make and put up for you about why I choose to be positive and not negative. I know that all my videos that I put out, I've always got a smile on my face, or at least I try to, and I always come across as very peppy, or at least I try to, and I hope that I come across as positive and encouraging and uplifting and inspiring, because that is exactly what I want to do. I want to be positive. I want to be an encouragement to you. I want to be an inspiration to you, and not because of who I am, but because I know that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You were created in the image of God. You have tremendous potential, and you were created with a specific purpose that only you can fulfill. And so that is one of the reasons why I choose to be positive. Because I want to encourage and I want to inspire, because I feel that that is something that God has asked of me to do. God has asked me to have the attitude of Christ, the mindset of Christ, to walk as Christ walked, to live as Christ lived, and to be the expression of Christ to those that I come in contact with. Does that mean that I don't have days when I don't feel like smiling, and I don't feel like being encouraging, and I don't feel like inspiring, and I don't feel like walking in the ways of Christ and being like Christ? Absolutely not, because there are days, let me tell you, there are days that I have where I can just be consumed by negativity, and I find myself in a deep, dark place. And the difference between that and me being positive is that I recognize when I'm in that negative spot, and I choose to seek God and to push into Him and to lean into Him and trust in Him, and just seek His help in getting me out of that deep, dark place. It's not that I am faking being positive. It's not that I think that I'm better than anybody else, and so therefore, I want to just always have a plastered smile on my face, because that is absolutely not true. It's not real. I want to be real and authentic, and so I will go ahead and be honest with you and let you know that I don't always have the right words to say. I don't always have the right attitude. I don't always love my husband as best as I could. I don't always treat my kids as best that I can be, as best that I can treat them. I don't always treat others in the best way that I could treat them, and I don't always have the right mindset. I don't always have this happy, up in the air, floating in the clouds, seems unattainable happiness at all times. But the thing is I know where my joy comes from, and my joy comes from God and God alone. My faith and trust in Jesus Christ. And so, you know what? There's enough negativity out in the world that you don't need me to come on here and tell you how bad my day is. You don't need me to come on here and tell you how I broke my favorite Starbucks cup the other day, and the words that came out of my mouth were not the best words that I could have chosen to speak at that time. You don't need me to come on and share with you how my head hurts, or how bad I feel, or how rude somebody was to me. You don't need that, because the world is already pushing that on you. And so I want to be a positive influence and not a negative influence. And let me tell you something, nobody likes to be around negative Nellies. That's a quick, surefire way to be alone, to have people push away from you, to not have friends, to not have a healthy relationship with your spouse, to not have a good relationship with your kids. Choosing joy is what it's all about. Okay, Christ came to give life to the fullest. He came to give us life abundantly. He didn't say, I came so that I may suck the life out of you, so that you may live in total negativity and be miserable and have a pity party every day. No! Hello, people! When we choose to walk in negativity, when we choose to be a ball of ick, nobody wants to be around us. And we're not being the expressions of Christ that we were created to be. We are basically taking the gift of life that God has given us, and we're tossing it in the trash. Okay? Maybe I was raised with some positive influences, and that helped me to grow and see that positivity is better. But that doesn't mean that those of you who didn't have positive influences in your life growing up as a kid, that doesn't mean that you don't know how to be positive, because you do. You do. Because I would be willing to bet $5, or, I'd be willing to bet, my snack that I have with me today on the fact that you want to be a positive person and you want to surround yourself with positive people. Let me tell you something. If you find yourself being surrounded by negative people, take a step back. Take a step back. Continue to be positive. Continue to be kind and loving to them, but that doesn't mean that you have to be like this. Because the people you surround yourself with are going to be the influence in your positivity, in your mindset, and in your behavior. So choose joy, my friend, today.